my favorite purchases lah. This one, by far, really. Hello, I'm Chung, bass player, hailed from Kuala Lumpur. I've been playing the bass for probably 20 years professionally. So I'm currently on a world tour with Fish Leong. Yeah. My first bass playing experience was, I believe, Form 2. Back in high school, secondary school. I remember that was an event happening. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Teachers' Day. I remember we had like 7 guitarists fighting for like that 2 spots band that we wanted to put together. And we had like a super drummer that time. His name is John. He's quite famous locally, if you know who I'm talking about. But no one refused to play the bass. So I thought, I just want to play on stage. I just want to perform. I just want to, it's so good to play in a band. So I chose the bass. The rest is history lah. I think as a bass player, for me, I think to actually enjoy playing grooves. I like to see people grooving to the song when I'm playing. I like to make people dance. To me, that I don't know, it could be the first thing that, to make me fall in love with the bass and, just to have that sense of rhythm and, So as a bass player is to always let the singer shine, to lay that foundation together with the drummer, to hold the band together, to gel the chordal instruments and the drums, to be that bridge, to be that medium, It took me a while to understand that. So I kind of enjoy doing that. I think as a bass player, it's important to, in a way, humble yourself, to lay down the groundwork, yeah. My first experience with the Boss pedals, bass pedals, was also back in my secondary school days. We were jamming at this legendary studio in PJ, Jalan Kasih. I believe it was Black Widow Studio. Back then, the studios, they not only provide you with amps and drums and whatnot. I remember when I look on the floor, there was like a few Boss pedals, bass pedals. It was in black lah. It was like a chorus, a distortion and EQ, Back then we couldn't afford any of those pedals, but you pay a little amount of money, you can enjoy these pedals. I remember first I plugged into them and like, wow, the sounds were no words I could describe. It's amazing. After that, I remembered I bought like a bass overdrive, the yellow one. Then I moved on to like the bass chorus, the light blue one. Then I got myself like a bass equalizer, the grey one. So over the years, Boss pedals has been, a part of my sound. One of the most change ones was the ME50B. Then I went on and got myself the GT10B. Before the GT10B was the red one, the GT6B. Every time when Boss release a new line of bass products, it just hype me up. Always like on YouTube, looking for reviews and wow, just by looking at the pictures, color, wow, it always excites me. My latest edition is the GX1B. Yeah. So the GX1B to me is very similar to GT1B, but is enhanced. Like there are many features. It's still the same user-friendly, intuitive. One thing I like a lot on this pedal by default out of the box is when you hold the pedal down, is a tuner already. But they also have the same feature. You step on those first 2 buttons and it goes on to mute and tuner mode. But now it's you just hold the pedal down, the tuner automatically appear. So unplug and unplug, no issues. The sounds are amazing as usual. There are a lot of like upgrades in the sounds. Whatever sound that resonates with me since then is still in there, but better. I always like the compression. I always like the compressors. I always like the EQs and the modulation pedals, and not to mention the octave. To me, Boss octaves is arguably like second to none, if you ask me. Yeah. I've been working on some bass solo materials. I think in months to come, I'll be completing some compositions. Sort of like whatever I just demoed just now is a lot of chordal movements going on. It's very hard to form a band sometimes. So I figured it's good to play the bass by myself and able to make music. I would book myself some gigs in the near future, hopefully. Besides playing my usual commercial and pop shows, I hope to be a bit more indie in that sense. I hope to be a bit more daring also in that sense. So hopefully to see you guys in the near future for one of my bass solos gigs. Yeah.